But yes, we're still in the middle of all that extreme heat as well here. But I mean, everything is good. The days, I don't know, the days, they seem about the same, not really long, not really short. But everything feels good here.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Is there any question that you would like to ask Jill about something that you're listening to, or did you read anything lately? Something on your mind that you would like to ask? Please feel free.
No, I don't think I have any questions today. I'm just gonna listen in.
Thank you. Yes, Yanis?
Good evening, E.T. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How do you do, Yanis? Good to hear you.
Yeah, good to be here. E.T., I was reading Psalms 20 verse 2, and I just wanted to understand the Hebrew that's written there, because Psalms 20 verse 2, it says in the translation, the Lord answered thee in the day of trouble, and the name of the God of Jacob set you up on high. In Hebrew is Elohi Yaakov. Why the God of Jacob and not the God of Abraham or Isaac? Why
This is interesting. Let's
specifically
open it. Yes, let's open it. You say Psalms 20? Psalms
verse
20?
2? Verse 2.
Yes, 1 second. Usually the name comes on duality. Whenever we see the name Jacob but not Israel, let's see. Psalms 20 is open. For the leader, a psalm of David. This is Psalms 20.
Yes.
Yes. Yancha, yes. The being will answer. By the way, the Lord, whenever it is translated, the Lord, also in King James Bible, whenever it is translated to Lord as a master, is not right because it already puts the light on duality. There's a Lord, yes, and there's a subject to the Lord. So it's not a Lord, it's being. Yes, the being will answer you in the day of trouble. Yesagavecha, it will lift you. Shem, the name of the God of Jacob. You see, in English, it is translated to the God of Jacob. In Hebrew, it is Elohei Yaakov. Elohei Yaakov, the God of Jacob, or the many gods of Jacob. This is quite interesting.
Elohe means
Whenever
many gods, is it?
Elohei,
Elohe,
yes,
it means many
yes,
gods.
yes.
Oh,
It
okay.
means many gods. Yes. Whenever it is very good question. Whenever we see there is a distinction between the name Israel and the name Jacob. Whenever we find the name Jacob appears in space and time in the matrix. Yes. Jacob is the name in duality, the so to speak, husband of 4 women, father of certain children, multiplicity. He is the second twin. He is the 22nd generation from Adam. Yes? So also in his name, Jacob, he will follow. The heel is being expressed because Yaakov, Akev is a heel. Yes, the round part, yes, of the feet in which we step on the ground. So the name Jacob is always mentioned as regarding to time and space, as for duality. This is understood whenever we find the name Jacob. It doesn't matter in which context, it is always notes or directs us or hints at as duality. Whenever we meet, yes, the name Israel, it's non-dual. Not two. Israel is basically not two. Yes, and Jacob, it is in space and time. It is duality. Therefore, Elohei Yaakov, the gods, yes, of Jacob, plural. Yes? Now you can ask, and this is a very good question, Yanis. Now, let's read again. I'll read the Hebrew and see how beautiful it is built. Lamenetzeach. Lamenetzeach is to, Menetzeach has two meanings in Hebrew. To the triumph, if there's a victory, yes? But it's also the one who holds the stick, how do you say? And how do you call the man that orchestrated the music? Yes, the man who is orchestrating the music with his stick. It has a name in English.
The conductor.
Conductor.
Yeah.
So yeah, maestro. Yes, very good, Fernando. Good morning. So la menetzeach is to the winner. First of all, menetzeach is a winner. To the conductor, to the maestro. This is what it means. It's not just for the leader in English. It means many, many, let's say, lanes of light. Yes? The winner, the maestro, the conductor, the triumph, even in a war. Yeah? So, La Menetzeach Mizmor LeDavid. Good morning, Fernando. Good to see you here. Yanis was asking about Psalms 20, verse 2. So we're reading and explaining. So, La Menetzeach Mizmor LeDavid, to the triumph, to the winner, to the conductor. Yes? To the maestro, Mizmor LeDavid. A psalm for David. For David, because who is the triumph? David. Why David is the triumph here? Is the winner? Because he's writing the poem. He managed to speak the struggle or the winning while you're writing the written poem is already a winning, is a triumph. The written psalms is a triumph. This is why he says La Menetzeach, to the triumph, to the winner, to the conductor, and so on. To the maestro Mizmor LeDavid, a psalm for David, lo of, for David. Yanecha, it's the name, the tetragrammaton. The being will answer you in the day of trouble. Being will answer you in the day of trouble. Why being will answer you in the day of trouble? Because what is trouble? It's basically between the two. It's narrow. Yes, there's a struggle. So the being, which is not two, will answer you when in the day of trouble. Yesagevecha Shem Elohei Yaakov. Yes, the name. How does, yes, Yesagevecha will bring you higher, because the Hebrew starts always with the verb, not with the noun. Yes, please pay attention, with the verb, because the verb streams from the being. So, Yesagevecha will lift you high or higher. The name of the gods, in plural, of Jacob. So you see, the being will answer you in the day of trouble, will lift you to most high, the name of the gods of Jacob. Did we answer your question, Yanis?
Yes, yes. Because I didn't understand the word Elohe Yaakov.
Yes, Elohei Yaakov, the gods of Jacob, because Elohim is the name of God in plural, in space and time is Elohim. Yes? So, without the mem, the final mem, Elohei Yaakov, the gods of Jacob.
So unity is the Lord when it's mentioned in English, the Yud He Vav He is the being.
Being. Yes, being will answer you in the day of trouble. Yes? The stillness. Being is basically stillness. Will answer you in the day of trouble. What happens in the day of trouble? There's a lot of unrest, let's say. A lot of unrest. Struggling. So stillness, this is the being which is answering, gives an answer. Because whatever seems to us as a trouble, as a struggle, is basically appearance. Yes, it's appearance in the mind. Yes, and a being is not appearing. This is why being or stillness can answer or can give us rest.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Please feel free to ask any question that you like. You're most welcome to share, to ask any question that you like. Yes, good morning, Fernando.
Hello, good evening, Eti. Hello,
How?
friends. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can. How do you do today?
I'm fine, Eti. Finally, the sun is shining around here. We had like very bad days of, yeah, about weather. It was not so beautiful, but right now the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day. And I'm happy to be here, Eti.
Good to hear.
Eti, I have a question.
Mhm.
I was reading the Zohar, Pinhas portion.
Yes.
and it's interesting. The sages start the portion in the book of Zohar speaking about the importance to engage in Torah, the importance about to people engage, reading
Mhm.
the Torah, of course, and 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 they bring some ideas like if you engage in Torah here, you're gonna have food there, in the Olam Haba.
Mhm.
And it is interesting because I was looking from this non-dual perspective, and while you are reading this, it seems that is kind of like you need to behave here to find rest there, the in the world that is coming. This is one thing, if you could open. I know I'm just provoking, but I would like to listen from you. And also about this portion, because this portion also is meant to read in every Rosh Chodesh, right? Also in Yom Kippur. And why is so why is so important this portion about Pinchas? If you could
This is
clarify, I would be glad. Thank you, Eti.
You're most welcome because Pinchas, what he did, he did just put his sphere in the mating of two. Yes? And this is non-dual. What happened? Can you summarize in one sentence what happened, Fernando, in this weekly portion?
In one sentence, I would say that Pinchas saved the Israelites because he was like a Kohen, and he put a spear in the couple that was in the Mizbeah in the temple, right? They were having relationship, say, in the Mizbeah, and Pinhas killed them. I don't know if this, but it is interesting that from this he could take out all the sickness that was around people and bring peace. It is a quite interesting portion, because if you look at plastic images, it is quite unique, I would say, but from the sword level, it is quite beautiful. So the sages speaks also that he was like a new form of Nadav Yavihu, because he is son of Eleazar, a son of Aaron. So it is a quite deep portion. But if you stay in the literal level, it is difficult, I would say.
Yes. Yes. This is it's a beautiful question, Fernando. Thank you for asking. Yes, they were parking there in front of Moab, and they started mating, meaning from two, try to become more and more beating, yes, each other. And what Pinchas did, he Pinchas pinned a spear in the mating, in the couple that was mating, because why does it says non-dual, not two? Why do we say non-dual? Because when two are trying to become one, what happens? You have more and more and more and more. So this is why he pinned a sphere in them, not two. And then he gained another yod in his name, because Pinchas in the beginning was written Pei, Nun, Chet, Samech, and after he did it, the letter yod of the covenant was added to his name. So now he's Pinchas with yod, and the sickness stopped and people stopped dying. Yes? Because we can ask what is the nature of disease? What is the nature of plague? Who is really ill? If people are familiar with this topic of what happened in Parashat Pinchas, yes, people were, could say, committing idolatry. Yes, and he stopped this idolatry. But parallel to idolatry and mating in public, people start dying because it's a reflection. Yes, the plague or the disease or death is a reflection. So now we can ask many questions. What is the nature of disease? What is the nature of plague? Where disease and plagues appear? So what he did, and this is also why the story about Nadav and Avihu is being read also in Yom Kippur, it means not to. What is the Day of Atonement? It means the only day in the year which is not to. Yes? This is why it is so important. It is very long and wide topic and very deep, but I hope I managed to summarize to summarize it. It is a very, very deep topic. Yes. Did you understand more or less, Fernando? Fernando can hear. Did you understand, Abigail, Yanis, Jill? Do you get a sound coming? Can you hear? Does anybody can hear?
Yes, E.T., can you hear?
Yes, I can. I
Yes,
can.
I can hear you. Yes.
So, did you understand, Yanis, the question and the answer?
I didn't quite understand the part when you talk about diseases and sickness and how it's connected to Pinchas and how after the yod is added, wellness came about.
This is why it says that I will give my covenant. This is why the yod is added to his name. Yes, because he kept a covenant of not to. Yes. And the plague stops. 24,000. Please pay attention to the number. 24,000. 24, like the 24 hours, yes, in a day. Yes. Passed from the plague. Yes. This is an act of non-duality. Fernando, I hope you can hear somewhere. I hope you can manage to hear this. This is the act.
So you are saying that the non-act of duality stopped the plague?
Yes, yes, yes. By pinning them, yes, it stopped the plague. Because when two try to become one, they create more and more multiplicity. This is why multiplicity eventually will bring what? Plague and disease. This was the reflection, the plague that was in the camp of the Israelites. 24 people, 24 thousands, yes? I don't know also because I can see that you speak. I see that you're not muted, but I don't understand why you cannot speak because I see that you are not muted. This is very interesting because 24,000, yes, in English we say 24,000. 24 with 3 zeros, we say 24,000. In Hebrew we say 24, 24,000. Elef, yes, because Aleph is like Aleph. Aleph and Aleph is the same word, but in different pronunciation. So it's basically, we could say 24, instead of 1,000, we could say 24 Aleph. Yes, died. Let's write it like this. Let's be creative. Let's write it in this way. Aleph, value. Yes, like that. Yes, we say 24,000, thousands. Yes, 30 is 1,000. 24, Aleph, unicity, united, died. So he was healing. He was healing. This is why he considered to be the greatest of all. So he stopped the plague. He was pointing at the misfortune of two try to become one, and they create more and they multiply more and more and more. Yes, the Pinchas sphere is the Vav. Yes, yes. This is what the Zohar says. Pinchas sphere was the Vav. Yes. Yes. It's a very long portion in the Zohar. It got a lot of attention. This is one of the great weekly portions. It has a full volume. Only Parashat Pinchas in the Zohar. So it's one of the deepest parashot in terms of meaning. Yes, Fernando, does the plague happen to the body? Is that what you were saying? Yes, the plague happens. Magefa, very good. Magefa, plague, magefa comes on the body. Guf. Please pay attention to the letter. Magefa, plague, guf, body. You see they have similar letters. Magefa, plague can only come and attack what? The body. That appears in space and time. Yes? Plague can happen only to the body. What is the COVID? Not far away in time we experience this in the air, COVID-19, corona. Corona, yes. Magefa, plague, you see what is happening. Weinreb speaks about the timer. When man thinks that he can go to on the lane of the development of the serpent infinitely, there's a stopper. Yes? Corona was one stopper, or COVID-19. A war is also a stopper. Yes? Man cannot do whatever he likes. I mean, people are sleeping in illusions that they do what they like and they have a free choice, and the government and democracy and freedom, And people think that if they're CEO, so they're managing the world, or they're sitting in government, or so they're running the world or states, but it's not like that at all. Everything is a great illusion. But there's a stopper, and Weinreb speaks about it in the Roots of the Bible. You look at a tree. The tree in nature has a natural pace of growing per year, related to the seasons, to the light, to the cold, to the heat. This is the nature of the tree. Man is like a tree, as the verse says, because the man is a tree of the field. But man wants more. He wants to grow infinitely in 1 quarter of a year, in 90 days. And when you add it up, it's not normal, it's abnormal. And then comes a stopper, because man cannot stop himself, yes, for wanting to grow infinitely. It just beyond, because we are programmed like this. The brain is programmed like this to want more and more and more and more. So since we are not capable of controlling it, because we are being controlled by it, in the program there's a stopper. Yes? And the stopper comes as a plague, the stopper comes as a war, and there's a reset of systems. Yes? And Pinchas is a great example of resetting the system. Stop the mating, because this is why they say non-duality. It's not two try to become one, because when two try to become one, they will become 10,000. Yes? It says not two. Yes? So what he did was a great, reset to the system. In a way, his action, if you want to look at it in depth, also in the times of Rabbi Akiva, here, many, many years later in the country, there was a plague. Yes? Yes, of course. Where was I? Yes, in times of Rabbi Akiva, people were learning Torah, and 24,000 of his students died in a very short period. But they stopped dying in Lag BaOmer. They died from Passover to Lag BaOmer, and then the plague stopped. In Lag BaOmer, we read the book of Zohar, so you can, even if you want to look at it, Fernando, so you can see that the act of Pinchas is parallel to the appearance of the book of Zohar, that suddenly there's like clearance and the disease or the plague stops because there's clarity. Yes? It doesn't matter if people are mating or people try to become wiser by themselves. It's the same thing. Yes, it's the same thing. I hope you can see the parallel worlds, though it's a bit different times and yes. So you can see, though it's happened, yes, I mean, Moab is close to Israel, but it's in a different time. But you can see, yes, when people try to mate with wisdom, not just mating two bodies, because the brain is a body, and trying to gain more wisdom by reading more books and more, it's just mating and nothing comes, and just it's a plague. Yes? And then there's a stop because there's a clearance. More and more reading of books, of participating in retreats will not produce or bring stillness or being. This is the plague.
But E.T., are we not supposed to grow in wisdom?
To grow in wisdom, what does it mean? It's quite interesting, the question. What does it mean to grow in wisdom? What does it mean?
I mean, like, even this conversation, I mean, we are learning about non-duality, we are learning, to take life as the ball comes to us, to be quiet, to be at rest, to understand that, when Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh is mentioned, it means a being, and the Lord as translated in the Bible is not quite correct, the English translation. So isn't that part of knowing the Torah, the Tehillim, knowing and understanding why we are here?
I would say it's not so much of a wisdom, it's just is truth. Yes? Because people can recite, yes? Once I was writing a text and somebody asked me from religious circles in Israel, how many times did you completed reading the Talmud? 6 times, 7 times. They always make a party. Like if the Talmud is a marathon that you finish 1 marathon, 2 marathon. It's not like that. What I see in those sessions that we meet, it's about the truth. It's not about wisdom. It's about truth. So whenever we see the word Hashem is basically the being. It's not the Lord, because what happens when people read a translation of the Lord? Like you say in English, there's a lord of the mansion and there's a subjects or slaves or feudals or whatever. So there are two. Not. It's completely opposite. It's the being is stillness. But if you read it in English or any other languages, you got it all wrong, because it already declares that there's a separation. Me and the Lord. Da 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 da. No, there is no separation.
Yeah, when you see the English translation, the Lord, you always think of someone who is supreme, and then you are different. There's someone
Yes.
higher. Yeah.
Yes,
So that
someone hired as the other external to you. There's
correct.
another
Yeah.
opponent, whether lord, a king, or master of a mansion or so. But look at, let's say, Psalms 23. Everybody knows it by heart. How does it start? Psalms
The Lord,
23.
the Lord is my shepherd.
Lord is my shepherd. Nay, being. The being is something completely different. And it goes well with the rest of the verse. It's not a body, because when we read the Lord, we think about a body of a king, of an entity, and it's ain't. It's being. It's completely the stillness, the quiet is before time and space. It's completely another take. You read the Bible in English, you're on the highway to I don't know where.
Yeah, that's what I find. And that's why the Hebrew sometimes need some understanding.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because whenever I read the Lord, I know I immediately is like creating like he and I are apart, and he's always higher than me, and he is the supreme one. So
And
there's
it
the
creates
duality
too.
there.
So you
Yeah,
read,
yeah,
yeah, it's funny because you read the Bible to find comfort or peace, and then you got it too. And there's half of a biscuit is you, and Lord is the other half of a biscuit, and then there's a war because it's the Lord, and I need to please the Lord because He's outside of me, and He's higher than me, and it's omnipotent, and I don't have any power at all, and I'm subject. It's not.
yeah,
It's just not
yeah,
at all. Yes? No, no, no.
yeah. And yeah, I
It's
mean that's
funny because Yanis, being is in you. You
yes.
are of being. There is no other outside. So it's completely different. Being is you. When you say being, not Lord is my shepherd, but being is inside. It's this is stillness inside. Yes, of course, Jill. This is why when people read the Bible, Jill is asking, would that separation be considered duality? Of course, this is why when people read the Bible, they get aggravated because there's a split and struggle. They want to, and so what is the
Yeah,
yeah, the
there's
Bible
that
becomes
split. Yeah.
it
So
becomes
you
a tree
see,
of
you see the
knowledge.
Lord as sometimes angry and sometimes merciful, sometimes, you know, like
Yes,
many. Yeah.
yes,
But
yes.
it's I mean having that revelation that he's in me, that I'm one with him, in that stillness and that still small voice, it's
It's in
it
you. You.
yeah,
It's you. It's you. It's you when the mind is not, how do you say, is aggravated with images and illusions. Yes, it's always the brain or the mind will always come in front and claim, blah, 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 blah. Offers you different scenarios. Yes, but being is in you. You are it.
yeah, so that's why there's that constant struggle within when the mind is not settled.
Yes, it's bubbling all the time. Tak tak wants movement and wants fruit, productivity, progress. Yes, this is why they say in Course of Miracle, it's an active denial of what we are. What does the brain does? This is duality. Moach, we say moach in Hebrew is 48. Look at the number as well. Yes, active denial of what we are, the stillness.
So how do you come to that point of active denial?
Active denial, this is a line that comes from the book which we mentioned before, The Course of Miracle. So they express it. What happened? How did they start writing the book? It was written in the 70s in America of the last century. There were two professors coming to teach in the university. And they hate each other. They hate each other so much that they woke up every morning, went to the university to hate and fight one with the other. For years, was the motivation to wake up in the morning to fight in the university. Until one day, it was horrible. It was unbearable. Until one day, one of the professors, she got this book as a download. Like she just was sitting and writing what she heard, and this is the Course of Miracle. And one of the lines in this book that what preceding the book or the download of the book was the pure hate of the other. There was a struggle between two professors, and they just came to university not to teach, to hate each other. So there's a beautiful line which says there, it's active. What does the brain does? Always produces scenarios. With a hand on the heart, now if I ask each and every one of you, write a sentence that comes to your brain, each brain will produce a different plot about something. This is what the brain does. It's fermented, and it will produce all the time plots and stories that will execute us from the world. It's the world against me, him against me, whatever. So the professor, she's a lady professor, when she wrote the book, one of the sentences, the key or the leading sentences of the book, is just telling what the brain does. Declaring all the time what, or it's an active, what is his, how do you say, nature of the brain? What does it do? Active, denial of what we are, which is stillness, which is before time and space. This is what it does, tells us stories about ourselves, plots, whatever.
So whenever there's a conflict within us,
It's a
it's the brain.
production. It's the brain production. Yes. It's like you take, it's fermentation. It's like you take grapes, yes, which are growing in the vineyard naturally from the vine, and you squeeze them between your fingers. Yes, this is the production of wine. Yes, when the grape is natural on the vine, it doesn't harm. You can eat it. It's sweet, and just nature given. But if you squeeze it, yes, you can produce from it alcohol and wine. It's a product made by men when you squeeze it using gravity or whatever. This is what the brain does all the time.
But isn't it also part of what you said, when sometimes sadness comes, sometimes when you hear something negative, it has an effect on you. I mean, isn't that also part of the life that comes to us? No?
Yes. This is what they say. Sadness rises, happiness rises, but it's not particularly for Yanis, for Jill, for Abigail, for Fernando, for Gladys. It's not.
But that's part of the conflict. But that's part of the conflict as well.
What is part of the conflict?
When there's sadness, or when you hear bad news, or when there's grief, when there's trouble.
So you believe it happens to you and you reject it. Yes? This is where the struggle comes, because if it just appears and you're just witnessing it, there's no problem. If sadness appears, it will disappear. Yes? Happiness appear, it will disappear. Bad news appear, it will disappear. But if you engage with it, just Jacob with the angel, you're fighting with it, you are entangled with it, there comes the trouble. If you're just mere witnessing it, So it comes and goes. There's a sunrise and there's a sunset. The tree moves in the wind. The tree gives its fruit. The tree shades its leaf. And so, yes, just coming and going. But what happens? That the brain tells us this is your problem. You are sad. Yes? You are upset. Not that it arises and disappears. It immediately claims that you are the one who is angry. Not that anger rises. Anger is like fire. It's naturally, it's like its element. It's one of the 4 elements, fire. Anger is like fire. It naturally rises. And the brain will claim and tell you, you are angry. No. And then we say, no, you are not particularly or personally angry. Anger rises and disappears. Sadness rises and disappears. Happiness rises and then disappears. You see the difference? It's just a canvas. There's only screen. None of those sentiments are yours. How can nothing have something? This is the question. The brain will always say, you have anger or you are angry. But if inside there's only nothing, how can nothing have something?
Something is in your body, right?
Again,
That something is part of your body, right?
something is an object. We are not.
I know we are not the body. We are
We are
not.
not.
Yeah, we are not. That I know. But when it comes, it affects the body,
Yes,
right?
the brain will always claim that you are the body, that we are the body. This is what the brain does because we are conditioned to associate with the name, which is connected to the body. Yes, this is how it works. This is how it works.
Yeah, then to reject is like how, I mean, I know you mentioned that you listen, to truth, you listen, and it will like go.
Again, Yanis?
No, because you did mention that when there is a conflict, or you can't do anything, you just need to listen to
Just let it
truth.
go. Yes,
Yeah.
it's not your conflict. We are not of a conflict. Yes, when the brain likes a dog, it's like a dog. It likes to catch on something and to chew on it, and produces movies and imaginary conflicts and imaginary scenarios. Yes? So it's a noise. It's just move to another channel because it's always there. It's in the head. It's not external. It's going on all the time. And it always produces and suggests us very bad scenarios, all kinds of conflicts, that the being has nothing to do with it. And we tend to believe that this is about us. This is why it's so interesting. Why are you attracted to those scenarios that the brain says? Because it's about you. Yanis, why is it so interesting? Because it's about the name. It is happening to a name which you are associated with. The brain will always offer scenarios that has to do with this name. They will not offer you scenarios about Robert who lives in Oklahoma because you don't know about Robert. The brain will always offer you scenarios about the name which you're familiar and associate yourself with. This is why it's so interesting. And then you give most of your intention to it because it's about Janus. But Janus does not exist. It's invention. Do we understand? And if not, it's also okay because there's another meeting to remind us. Yes?
Yeah.
All the
It's okay.
time. All the time. No, it's great that you ask questions. It's great. It's just great. Thank you, Yanis. Any other questions? Abigail, Jill, Fernando, Gladys, any other question or sharing that you have, please feel free to ask. If not, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here with us today, to wish you a great weekend. Shabbat Shalom, and see you here soon on Monday. If you have any question that you'd like to ask, please write it on Discord and we shall relate to it. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom and see you soon. Abigail, Jill, Fernando, Yanis, and Gladys. Shabbat Shalom.